All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are working on the Fusion, and we're going to be working with Forscan. For those of you that do not know what Forscan is, it is a software program that was created to able to change coding stuff on the car. So let's say your car did not come with factory fog lights. You're able to use this program to, once you physically have installed the parts, you're able to go into the computer, so it's able to accept codes like that. Or if you decide to change taillights to a different style, or there's other mods. I'll show you the whole complete list, but this is what you're gonna need today. Obviously a desktop. Let me pull up the program for you real quick. So this is kind of what the home page will look like. I'll show you once we actually get into the car how to get into this. And then this is Old Faithful. I bought this back when I had my 2019 F-150, and this is like a $10 cable. It has a high and low, I guess, canvas on there. And then I did see another video. I have not used this software in a really long time, so I kind of needed a refresher course, but I saw that this actually may be able to work as long as my laptop's able to pick this up. You should be able to use this as well with this. So we're gonna try it either way. If nothing else fails, you'll just have to plug this into the OBD port, and then this plugs into the computer. And like I said, not sure about the OBD Link MX. Hopefully it works. If not, this was actually bought for different software. So for Ford vehicles, they have this, Ford Lincoln, stuff like that. Or I'm sorry, they have this. I bought this for Alpha OBD, which is for Ram, Fiat, Jeep vehicles. That is going to be another video. I'm going to see if I can steal my brother's truck one day, and we'll go over that. That's pretty cool software too. I actually bought this and that because both my 2016 Ram and my 2019 F-150, neither one of them had a factory brake controller. And it is cheaper to buy the tools that you need than it is to pay the dealership to actually do it. Now I had to physically install both the brake controller. The Ford was as simple as pulling the faceplate off around the radio, and it just slides in the factory connector. The Dodge had a whole lot more work to do, but it was still easy to do. Anyway, we're not talking about that today. So I'm going to hook this up to the car. And as always, if you have not ran a report, you will want to save a factory as built. So if there's any kind of issues from you coding the car, that you can always flash it back to what it originally was, what you saved it as, and then you're able to continue to, because certain times if you do mess with things and you accidentally mess it up on, stuff might happen, like your headlights might not work, or your windows won't work, or even the car may not start. So it might seem like something small that you've changed, but it changes a whole lot. So let's get into doing this. I'll show you how to save the as-built file, and then you can get into the rest. All right, guys, so as promised, this is a list that was online. There's probably other mods that you can do, but this is like the master list. So there's a couple different things that I want to try when I do this that, as you can tell, like this is the long coding for it. So basically what this means is like, I'm not going to work on any of this, but like the perimeter car alarm. So the large X there is the figure, or is the number that you actually want to change. So if you want it enabled, it's 1, disabled 0. So I'm not messing with that. There's only a couple things that I actually do want to try, but I was watching a video, and apparently there's another way to write this. I haven't used this program in probably 4 years when I got rid of my F-150. So I just want to show you the main list of stuff on this computer that you're able to actually change. And then we'll get into it, of course, once I actually get into the vehicle. So I have a Elm cord, which I think was like $10 off of eBay. I got that originally for my F-150 because I wanted a factory installed brake controller, and it was cheaper to buy a $10 cord and the brake controller than to pay the dealership. But anyway, getting into this. Some of the things that you want to do, like battery monitoring system, I believe that's for hybrid stuff. Not going to worry about any of that. Auto lock doors, that's if you push the unlock button and then you decide that, I don't know, you get sidetracked doing something, it will automatically relock the car. There is the daytime running light control from the instrument cluster. As you'll see, some of these only work for certain years. I think like as the cars get newer, and then there's other options for the older cars. So like for the daytime running lights, there's the 14s, and then if you have a 13. That was one of the mods I was going to do, global windows, remote close, and remote open. I don't have a sunroof, but basically what global windows are is if you hit the unlock button on your key fob and then push in and hold it again, and the windows will roll down. And then same thing with the lock, and then let go, hit the lock button again, and then hold it, your windows will go up. I do not know if somebody was in there prior to me, but my car already has that enabled. There's factory remote start, runtime, add fog lights, mine already has that. Bambi mode, that one I am going to end up working on today. So I'm going to show you that one, and there's another one that I really would like. There's if you change the tail lights or anything. Dark car mode, I'm not sure what that is. I believe all the interior lights turn off. I don't know that for sure. So there's more. You want to disable the door chimes if you're tired of the do-do-do. Reverse tilt camera, I'm probably not going to do that. That's not a big deal for me. All-wheel drive cluster, mine's only front-wheel drive, so we're not worried about that. I am going to work on one of the issues I had with my car originally was the tires on that. I have the appearance package on mine, so they're 18-inch wheels. They're very low-profile tires, and you can't really tell when one of them is low or not. So I am going to be enabling the TPMS gauge on this today. That is one of the other things. I kind of would like that more than the Bambi mode for real, but I'm going to go ahead and work on both. But like I said, you'll have to scroll down through here. This is easily found on the internet. You just type in, for this, it was 2G Fusions, and then it's as built. So I'll show you once we get this hooked up to the car. I'm going to try my other, I have an OBD-X Bluetooth reader. I don't know if this computer will connect to it or not. If not, I'll just use the old school. I'm going to get both of them out. I'll show you that, but there's other mods on there. If you want to change anything, of course, you'll have to go to this website and see what it is. So let me go out to the car and we'll get working on this with the cord, and I'll show you what we can get into. Okay, so another way of saving the data on here is if you go to Motorcraft, you go to free resources and then guides, and then go to it's built as, I forget the exact wording of it, but it's real easy to do. You'll just need your VIN number, type this in, but these are all the codes and everything for how the vehicle was made. So I saved a copy of this as well, but I'm going to show you on the through the actual Forscan app or software how to actually save all this. So for the average person, that's probably not really going to mean anything, but I wanted to show you the other way of doing this. So it doesn't hurt to save it multiple different ways. So if something happens, you can always go back. Okay, so just so you're able to see, I'm going to go down through the menu and show you, well, that's trip stuff. You don't even care about that. That's fuel economy stuff. And then driver assist. I just want to show you, like I said, the only thing we're really going to work on right now is the tire pressure. So of course I got a copy of everything, and I think there was other ways. I'm going to look to see, but for the audio menu, entertainment, it might have to be turned on. Yeah, it does. So there's some things on here. Really, I only use Bluetooth. So the rest of this, like, it does have a CD player. I don't really care about the rest of this, but I think there's options to remove stuff like Sirius radio and the CD. So right now we're not worried about that. We're just going to worry about that. So make sure your battery's good, but let's go ahead and get into this. So also could not get my other cable to work, so that is the Elm one. But give me 1 second. We're going to go ahead and get into this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into this. So the key is on the on position. We're going to go ahead and click OK. And I think I need to connect. No adapter found. So hold on 1 second. Let me, it's hard to do with one hand. Let me go ahead and hit the switch down here. And then we're going to try to hit connect down here in the bottom. No adapter found. Hold on, let me try it one more time. See what's going on with it. I haven't used this, so hopefully, I haven't used this in probably like 4 years, so hopefully it's still okay. All right, give me 1 second. Let me see what's going on with this. Okay, so I finally was able to get it to connect to the car. I don't know if it was an issue with the USB port on that side of the car, but it is fully going through everything. So the only module that I'm going to be working on today is the body control module. So that's the one that we're going to back up before we start doing any of this. But I am going to change the name, of course, is the VIN of the car, and then that way I can find this. But yeah, let's get into this, and let me change the name. I'm just going to change it to Fusion, 2016 Fusion, and then I'll show you how to save and everything. Okay, so then what we're doing from here is we're going to work on the body control module. So what you'll want to do is you want to click that, and then this is hard to do with one hand. Hit the run service procedure. And then we'll have to, it's telling you to switch it to high, which I did that, and then hit OK. That just lets you know if you mess this up, then, you know, things could happen with the car. So and this is going ahead and running everything in the body control module. And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to hit save all to a file. And we're going to change this name to, I got to put the phone down for a second. I'm going to change that to 2016 Fusion BCM for body control module. That way, if I need to back this up again, I'll be able to find it. Okay, so that's what I changed it to. We're going to go ahead and hit OK. And there you go. So it saved everything officially. So from this point, you'll want to go to your page. And like I said, we are only working on the tire pressure monitoring system. So we will have to go to 7260801. Like I said, this has been a really, really long time since I've used this. Let me go back to there. I forget what it was already. 726-08-01, and this is for 14 plus. Like I said, if you have to double check it, triple check it, whatever, just make sure. Because when you start changing stuff, if you change the wrong thing, I will try to figure out before this video ends how to write it differently than this, but this isn't hard to do either. 7260801. So this is the one that we're going to need here right next to the gear. And then we need to go back to the build sheet, and you have to figure out, it looks like the, so you'll see right here, let me zoom in. Let me get the mouse near it. So right there, you'll see the second character needs to be, depends on what it is. 0 is disabled, 1 is enabled. So I want to make sure that is in there, but I think there's another screen that I need to do in order to actually see it in the cluster. So let's go to Forscan real quick. So one, it is factory enabled. So let's go back to the Excel spreadsheet, and let me figure. I'm going to put the phone down just for a second, just so I can find it in the list, and then I'll show you what we need to change. Okay. So here is what we need to do. So both of these are going to pertain to what we need. The first one is the gauge. This is for 15 plus. And then the second one is, you'll see each, actually, no, they're both the same code. We just have to change different figures. So over here, you'll see it says if this value will be blank if the BCM does not support this level. So the one we are looking for to see if we have this is 720-0401. And you may have to scroll until you find it. So give me a second. Let me put the phone down. It's very hard with where the laptop and stuff is, and I'll show you what we're looking for. So sorry about that. I'm going to have to turn the car back on and reconnect. So I was looking at that, and I was wondering why I couldn't find it. I was under the body control module. So in order for this to come up in the cluster, you're going to need it to go to the IPC, which is, I guess, the instrument panel control. I might be wrong on that, but let me reconnect to the module, and I didn't want to leave the car on. And as soon as I get back into the IPC, I'm going to save it the same way I did with the body control module. That way, if there's any kind of issues, we'll go back to that. And then I'm going to go ahead and enable both of those codes in here. So give me just a second. Let me reconnect to the vehicle, and then I'll connect to the IPC module configuration as built format. So we want to save that same procedure as the BCM. Just give me 1 second. Okay, same thing with this one. We are saving a copy of this. It's super easy, quick to do, and if you mess anything up, you can always go back. So let's go back to here. So sometimes there's multiple different codes that you are going to have to do. This is actually a pretty good example of this. So the first one is going to be, these are both under the same one, but if you noticed, let me get closer. So the mouse, I'm going to go ahead and enable both of these just to make sure. Now, once we get in there, they might already be enabled, or at least one of them might be, one of them might not be. So the actual gauge, that's the second character, as you can tell from the large X. If it's a 0, we need to switch that to a 4. And then the third digit, if it's a 0, we need to switch that to an 8. So the reason I couldn't find it under the body control module is it's not under there. So let's go back to Forscan. It's 720-0401. And the first one is the second character needs to be 0. It needs to be 4 instead of 0. So here you go. This is what I was talking about. So the 720-0401. So the second character to this is a 0. So go back to the Forscan, and the first one we want to do is we want to change that to the number 4. So just to make sure, 720-04, second character, we want to enable that. That is a 4. So 720-04, you want to, sorry. Again, this is very, very hard to do with one hand. 4. And then let's go back real quick and change. And when you're doing this, because this is pretty much all the same thing, you do want to write each one as you go along. I'm not going to do multiple changes. We're just going to work on this one. But the third number for the gauge needs to be an 8. So let's go back to Forscan. And we're going to click right there. Let me hit backspace. And we're going to enable that to be an 8. So as before, 720-0401, they were 001. And in order to get both of those, second digit needs to be a 4, third digit needs to be an 8. So go back, just make sure. And then what you're going to want to do is write that. Following blocks have this problem. Continue. And sometimes you will get stuff like that because that is what it's working on currently. And there you go. So it says it has been programmed successfully. We want to turn the ignition off and then back on, and we're going to hit OK. And then we're going to, I think we can hit save all. Oh no, we don't want to do that. So it's already wrote. So from this screen, let me put the laptop down just a second. And display mode. I'm not sure if it's going to have its own screen. Oh, there you go. So that is what we wanted. So we never had that before. So as you can tell, the tire pressures are all jacked up. But that's something easy to fix. So that was what we wanted to do. So I don't know. I don't think it would be under anything else. It's just under display mode. So this is, like I said, this is a good thing to have because with these tires, especially with them being low profile, you're not able to see that. So everything's good to go. With Forscan, you are able to do other things. So the same thing you'll want to do with the Bambi mode. I am going to go ahead and enable that as well. And but yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So sorry there's not a whole lot of action, and you know, like I said, you'll want to make sure that you're doing this the right way. There is supposed to be another way where you're able to go down through the list where it will show you enabled or disabled, and I haven't quite figured that out. I haven't worked with this program in probably 4 or 5 years, so I'm just going to let the car run for a little bit since the key was left in the on position. But yeah, it's pretty much that easy. Of course, you'll want to go ahead and keep a copy of everything. But yeah, outside of that, if you guys have any questions about this or anything, comment below. There are people that do a whole lot crazier things than this, but I just wanted the TPMS gauge. So as I said, I will try to get Alpha OBD as well up, and I'll show you some of the things. Like, we'll probably enable global windows and stuff for my brother for his RAM, and then we'll see what else we can do with it. So Alpha OBD is just as cool as Forscan, but that's it for this video. Like we said before, it really helps us out when you guys like, share, and subscribe. You know, I know our channel's small, but it is starting out. So if you guys could go ahead and hit the subscribe button, it really helps us out, and we're able to do stuff like this. And some of you may knew about this stuff, some of you didn't know about this stuff, so it helps those who don't. So thanks for watching up to this part, and yeah. Bonus part of this video, sorry for the glare. We are going to do the Bambi mode. So we want to look for, this is in the body control module. You want to do 726-2701. It is the 8th character. The 8th character is already set to 1, is disabled. So we are going to change that to a 0. So 27, oops. 2701 is right there, and I think, let me make sure I want to do this right. We're going to change that to a 0. 2701, 8th character is a 0. So change that to 0, and then we are going to write that. All right, it is programmed successfully. We're going to turn the ignition off, back on. There's the Ford chime that I love so much, and hit OK. And then the point of this, I usually always keep high beams or fog lights on, but there you go. So as you can see, headlights, fog lights, high beams. So if you have regular headlights like I do, they kind of suck, but just wanted to show you that part too. We had already saved the body control module, so I wasn't worried about changing that. It's pretty much all I wanted to do. I just wanted TPMS and Bambi mode, and this just shows you some of the things that you can do with that. So each vehicle has a whole list on there. You'll want to look on there. It's on a Google Doc site. It's a wealth of information. So if you guys have any questions, again, thanks for watching up to this point. Like, share, and subscribe.